Hello everyone and welcome to our product update session number 6. The second one this year, together again with our CTO. Hi Sinisha, how are you?
Hi, doing fine, thank you.
Nice to see you again. Last time we announced a little goodie in the last session, which was very well received. And today we will focus on the latest news from the last sprint in our XOAP automation universe. Let's see what we can expect. To begin, the session will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube as usual. So stay tuned and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But back to business, the topic of our session today is our product updates, news and features. So let's get started with the topic from our last session. We talked about tags, Sinisha. Can you show us what has happened here and where to find and how to use the tags in XOAP?
All right, I see you share my screen. Perfect. All right, so last time we talked about tags, as you already mentioned it. So this is the first central setting that we are now adding here that we had in image management, configuration and management on some locations before integrated. But now the first step is we are centralizing the tag management for all the resources in the XOAP platform. And what you can do here, you can basically, very simple, create tags with different colors, give it a description if you like, and add this tag. And this tag is now centrally available in the XOAP platform. And the next thing you can now do is go to application management. And that is the first module that is supporting the central tag area, because we have to update all the modules one by one. And for example, you can now give your applications tags. For example, you have maybe different departments or different customers or different topics that you want to manage and assign tags to. You can simply go to the application, click here, one password, I would say that's security related, add this tag here, and it's visible here at this location. And that's something that you can do now, in groups as well. So if you have specified specific groups for certain use cases or roles, you're now able to tag them to easier identify what purpose this resource might be supporting with. And another thing that you can also see here is, every of those central new areas will also have an activity log. So for example, you can now see here that with my demo user, my IP address, I inserted a new tag name today during the session. So you also have a direct view of actually what is happening here. Did a colleague maybe delete, update, or add a new tag here, so that you can see what is basically happening.
Okay, nice. That means also I can assign multiple tags to one action.
To one resource.
To one resource,
yes. Yes, sure. And what you can also do is, for example, those are the tags you defined here in the central tag area, but maybe you're missing something and you don't want to go back. So you can also directly inline add a new tag to this resource here as well. So to make administrative life a little bit easier. And if I go here, I can also add multiple tags, and you can see they are now visible here.
Nice. Maybe some use cases. Yeah, we have an Azure virtual desktop image build. We define a tag for this image build, for this resource, and then we can search it, group it, and so on. Or for example, also business units, teams, or whatever.
Yep.
Cool. Makes it really easy. Can you give us short info when it will be available in the other modules?
We are now working through those modules side by side, so I don't think we will manage this in this sprint, but we will start with that one sprint after. So
cool. I would say just test it and integrate it into your XOAP workspace, and I think everybody will love it. Definitely, it's a nice improvement for the behavior of handling the dependencies, group it, and search for something. Thank you. Yeah, let's take a look at into the image management, also called image.XO. There
Sure.
have been some adjustments in the provisioners, but first of all, Sinisha, what are provisioners and how I can use it? And afterwards, what is the updated function over there?
Okay, so what is a provisioner? Provisioner is basically a functionality or a function you can use to configure or adjust the image during the image creation process. So for example, if you go to the provisioners here in image management and I click on plus, you can see that we have different function types. So provisioners, for example, something like an application group installer. So if you have application management in place, you define an application group that you want to install during the image creation process. You could use that application group installer and then just select one of those groups that are already configured here and where your applications are assigned. So that's one example of the things, but we have other examples as well. For example, if you want to use configuration management with partial DSC, for example, during the image creation process, you can also use the DSC local configuration provisioner. And here we added a lot of different functions. So for example, that was available in the past. So if you have like a PS1 DSC configuration script that you uploaded to resources, you can assign this to the DSC local configuration. And then during the image management, image creation process, this script will be compiled and the template that you are creating will be configured with all the settings you have in there. In addition to that, you can also add specific module versions, for example. So if you need to adjust something or a parameter, you need, for example, you have something where you want to configure a local administrator password and you don't want to hard code that in your configuration. You could also add that here as a parameter so that it's not hard coded in your config files, but you can just create a specific provisioner for this use case and then assign maybe the password for this user or also a username. And that is one of the things that we added here. But we added a lot more. So for example, we adjusted the file provisioner to also be able to use source files that are here integrated in resources, but we also added the possibility to define the exact destination where this file should be uploaded to. So that's something that you can see here. And if you look at the other provisioners here, and we updated all of those, like Linux shell command script, PowerShell command, PowerShell script, Windows restart, Windows update, all updated completely with a lot of different parameters and options you can now set. Like, for example, if you have a PowerShell, a Linux shell command that you're running, you can define what exit code are you expecting from running this command. You can also adjust here different variable files, define the folder in which the script should be run. And if you look through all those provisioners, you will see that there are a lot more options than we had before to make the product more powerful in configuring your operating system templates that you deploy to the cloud provider of your choice. So I think I don't need to go through every single thing in detail, but a lot of things that we added here, especially also the Windows restart. We had only this option here before. You can now define the exact restart command that you want to run. Also check for if the restart was done. You can add here additional registry keys to check for the necessity of a Windows restart, but you can also remove that. So this should give you much more power and flexibility in defining your templates.
Okay, nice. Not only the power for this one provisioner or one configuration, I can also group it. And this is the most powerful thing then, to combine everything in one complex configuration and simplify, deploy it wherever you want.
Correct.
Cool. Very nice. Thank you for the insights.
Yeah.
Another hot topic is Azure Gen 2.
Yep.
But what is Azure Gen 2 at all, and how to handle it with XOAP?
Yeah, so we have different VM instance generations that are supported by running VMs on Azure. And one of the important things that we have by choosing a generation 2 VM is like more security related options that we have. And we had this demand from a few of our partners and customers here. And what we added here, especially for the Azure Gallery, you are now able to define that secure boot should be enabled and that this trusted platform management module should be also enabled. So that is also a new option that you can use here to make your images that you are creating on the Azure platform more secure.
Pretty nice. Sounds good. Yeah, thank you for the insights, Sinisha over here.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
As always, yeah, the question at the end, can you give us a short technical preview on what we can expect the next sprint until the next session?
Yes, sure. So next step is to, and that's something that will happen to image management and configuration management. So we will move resources out of those two modules below here in the central area so that you have one place where you manage all of your resources and scripts. But we will inform, before we start the transitioning, we will inform everybody to not be confused why it's now not there anymore and here below in that area. So that's something that we are currently working on. And the other thing that we are working on is right now add more options to those builder configurations. So not only these two options will be here, we are currently adding a lot more AWS and Azure related options to choose which subnet to use, which network, all around that stuff, security group configuration. That's something that should be available by the end of the sprint, besides also the availability of Azure and AWS marketplace images.
Pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank you very much for all the insights, Sinisha, over here. And near to the end, yeah, dear XOAP community, yeah, follow our channels and have also a look to our newest blog post, your future-oriented alternative for delivery of server and desktop systems. Is this an alternative for maybe DSM or other solutions? Maybe, find it out. But at the end, we wish you all a successful week. And thank you once again, Sinisha. Thank you to you all, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.